Hello students, and welcome to another recording of an element of the business model canvas. My name is Maggie Williams, and this is especially for students of Industrial Design Engineering Open Innovator. So in our course of implementing business and products, we deal with the business model canvas, and today I will be talking to you about cost structure. Cost structure is the bottom left element and one of the two very financial elements. So, costs. Well, first it's important to realize that there's two types of costs. Costs that are proportional to the volume of whatever you're producing, and ones that are not. So fixed costs are, for example, salaries, at least salaries of people on fixed contracts, rent and machines. So these are the things that you have to pay anyway, whether you produce 1 unit or 1,000. If things are slow, the people that are on fixed contracts will still need to be paid. The rent for your building still needs to be paid, and the machines, when they're on lease, they're there. Variable costs are costs that vary according to the amount of units you produce, or the amount of hours you give to your client, whatever. And they are, for example, production materials. Yes, if you make 100 cakes, you need a certain amount of ingredients, and that's different than when you make 10 cakes or thousands. Then distribution costs, whatever it needs to get your stuff to your client, also varies obviously with the number of units. And then salaries for as much as they're outsourced. So especially seasonal work, and where you outsource, for example, to job agencies, there your costs are proportional to what you do in a certain way. So an example of proportional costs, if you buy them, I just found online the price for some MOSFETs. If you know what those are, you are into electronics. So the price per unit is 21 cents. If you buy 10, it's 19 cents, and if you buy 100, it's 17 cents per unit. So typically these are variable costs, and the total costs depends on how many you buy. And in this example you can also see that there's a price difference depending on the amount you buy, and that brings you to a cost advantage, such as economy of scale. Bulk buying often leads to lower prices per unit, and that is an example of economy of scale. If you produce a larger number of units, you have a better negotiation position, and you can get lower buying price. So also mass production. If you produce things in large volumes, you can streamline the process, be more efficient, and that will lead to cost advantages. And again, relating costs to, of course, our key thing, the value proposition. If we have lower costs, that means it can add value by lowering the price of our product, but it can also do other things. Another point is economies of scope. So not just that you have larger volumes of a single product, but that you can use the different products that are in your company, because you only have to do certain things once for them. So for example, if you take the Coke brand, if you, invent is not the right word, if you develop a new drink, which is Coke-like, Coke, well, what flavor don't we have yet? Coke green tea, for example. It is within the Coke brand, and the marketing of it will cost less than when you would have come up to the market with a completely new brand and type of drink. Of course, distribution, all the different products under one company will go through the same distribution channels, and there again you save money there. So Using the same brand for different products can add the value of status, and another way of economy of scope can add convenience, as in cost savings, distribution-wise, other things. Decisions for costs are very often related to management, and there it's important to know two terms that you will run into in the corporate world, and that is CAPEX for capital expenditure and OPEX for operational expenditure. So CAPEX are investments that run in the long term, things that are bought for capital expenditure, go on the balance sheet of the company and will be depreciated over the years. Operational expenses are the running costs, day-to-day or used-up expenses. Often companies have several different budgets for CAPEX and OPEX, and that can be influencing your project budget. So maybe the CAPEX budget for the year is already done, and then you can only do a project if there's OPEX budget still open, or the other way around. Well, of course, costs in relation to the value proposition. If you are in a very cost-driven business, so the thing that you offer to your client is that your product is the cheapest in the market, then you are in what they call a race to the bottom. If your competitor can offer the same product at a lower price, you will lose market share. And so your goal will be to lower your cost and be ahead of your competitor, or even get a lower price as your competitor. But of course there is always there is a limit to how low you can go, and if your competitor can get better efficiency or whatever, then you are stuck in that race. The other end of the scale is that it's completely value driven and money is not an issue. You can see that more in very luxury playing field, for example, very luxury hotels, resorts, shows, these kind of things where there's lots of people involved to give service and money is not an issue. The playing field for different options lies often between these extremes, and you can see especially in service industries like hotels and restaurants, and when you talk about larger companies, they will have different options. They know what they're good at doing hotels, and they operate in the full range of low cost budget to high-end value money, not an issue. So again, there you see that value proposition can be related. Different customer segments have different needs in terms of, for example, costs and luxury, but they can exist next to each other within one corporation. So much for cost for today. Thanks for listening. Cheers.